Hey, what's up everyone? Donkey D's here. Welcome to this brand new episode. Today, I am going to show you the most useful mods for detailing works in City Skylines 2. These mods have played a very important role in my projects. To be honest, they are the only reason I play this game. And since the very beginning of this channel, viewers have frequently asked me about which mods I use. So this is also the perfect chance to answer that question. In case you don't want to watch the entire video, I start with the mods list we're going to talk about. Although I do offer some helpful tips for you, so you may want to stick around. The first list is the must-have mods. If you're trying to do some detailing work, these mods are absolutely essential. I'm putting the Vanilla Car Props Asset Pack on this list because a lot of people underestimate how important it is. Without this mod, you might end up messing up your cities or your save files. The second list is the mods that simply could make our lives easier. If you don't use them, you can still build a highly detailed, realistic city. But with these tools, detailing will be way more enjoyable, faster, and definitely easier. The third list is expansion packs. We've got the essential tool mods, but we also need more assets. Since the vanilla game doesn't provide enough, we also cannot possibly subscribe to every available asset pack. So, I've tried most of the asset packs from Paradox Mods, and these are the ones I found most useful. We'll go into the specifics of why I chose those asset packs in a bit. If you have any different opinions, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. The last part is the optional mods. Some I personally use, some I don't. For example, the traffic mod, which is one of the most popular mods, but after trying it, I found I can do just fine without it. Another one, LegacyFlavour. It was the first mod I found and installed for the game. It's so important to me. Anyway, check the information section below. You could jump to a specific point in the video anytime you need. And let's get started. Truth be told, if you want to build it, you need Find It. There's no way anyone doesn't know about Find It, right? So I won't waste time talking about how great it is. I'll just point out one small issue. It might break your city service and your save file. In this section, there's a tab with a little car icon. Vehicles. Don't use anything from this section, all right? I mean anything, because all the vehicles in this section are not props. They're actual vehicles. I mean, they function as in-game vehicles, but they don't move. It might be a bit hard to understand and confusing. Let me give you an example. Let's say you want to build a custom parking lot at your bus depot and place some buses there. If you use these real vehicles, by the way, you'll notice that their headlights are on because they aren't props. Now, you happy with your parking lot and you want to move on. When you set up a bus route, you will find that depot won't send out any buses, or sometimes just one or two, because to the depot, these parked buses are considered already dispatched. Same goes for garbage trucks. If you want to place some garbage trucks in the parking lot as decoration, the landfill then won't send out enough trucks to do the real job. The same applies to police cars and ambulances as well. And there's a blast hole drill. You don't even know what this for, and you placed it because it looks cool somehow. But when you put it there, it actually functions. It will cause a traffic jam on a certain section of your road, and all the cars will be stuck forever. So, what we do? Of course, we need to delete them, but sometimes you'll find that once you've placed these vehicles, you can't select them anymore. I mean, most of the time, you won't be able to delete any of it, alright? That's when you need this. Better Bulldozer. Remove moving objects in Sims. Don't use single selection because you won't be able to select those dead vehicles by single click. Use this radius selection, okay? So now we know that we better not use the vehicles from Find It, but I still need to place vehicles for decorations. What should I do? That's when we need this. Vanilla Car Props Asset Pack. From Road section, Car Prop tab, yep, all the cars, trains, airplanes, they are safe. And of course, all vehicles from this tab won't have their lights on after being placed. I would say Anarchy is the kind of mod that should have been included in the vanilla game. It's been around for a long time, about 10 years. I won't waste time talking about how amazing it is. I'll just point out one issue that people often miss out. On the left menu here, you can turn on Anarchy, and then the chirper on the right will turn into orange. Flaming chirper, all right? Okay, that's not the point. The point is if you want to put some trees, let's say in these zoning row houses backyards. You need some nice looking trees, all right? But if these row houses upgrade later on, here showing their current level, when they upgrade, the house will essentially refresh and a new higher level house will replace the old one. At that point, the trees you planted in the backyard will be wiped out. Same goes for decals. They'll be wiped out as well. So if you use Anarchy to place props or decals, just make sure they are placed on buildings that won't automatically upgrade. If it's a zoning building, you can lock the level here, so it won't change anymore, all right? We can also use the mod, Plop the Growables. In the settings, choose lock building level when plopped. Then, when you place down a building, it will lock the level automatically. And the second option, disable abandonment, I usually enable it as well. The third option, disable all building level changes. I leave it off, but if you don't care about upgrades, turning it on could make things easier. When using extra detailing tools to customize surfaces, you'll encounter the same issue. Changing the surface of a zoning building that will automatically upgrade is pointless because once they upgrade and a new building appears, the customized surface you applied will disappear. So make sure to lock the building level before you start detailing. Recolor. I've mentioned how important this mod is in previous videos, and it's often underestimated by many. But I have to say, if you want good results, it does take quite a bit of time. You need to adjust the colors bit by bit. Of course, copy pasting might be a good solution. Activates the color painter tool. Then click on the building you want to change the color of. Since even if an entire block has the same color code, the colors shouldn't be exactly the same. To make it more realistic and detailed, we should manually tweak some slight color variations after completing the copy-paste process. You can also change the tree's color. I would say most of the trees have decent colors, but sometimes placing them together makes certain trees look super fake. For example, the palm trees from the DLC. They are way too green, just looks like plastic toy trees, right? We need to adjust the saturation a little bit. And also, you could change the prop's color as well. For example, this is the hotel I built in previous video, Brownie Plaza Hotel, alright? First, I decided on the color for the buildings, with orange rooftops and some purple. Then, I made the hotel shuttle vehicles match the theme, all painted in purple. Of course, each vehicle has slight differences. Without the help of the Recolor mod, this hotel probably wouldn't even look like a hotel, right? Tree controller, we talked about this one before in this tree tricks video, right? But there's one thing I forgot to point out the other day. In the tree controller settings, we need to select disable tree growth. Otherwise, all the trees will eventually grow to the same size. Below that, you can also choose the tree color variation set. Personally, I only like the spring set. This mod makes it easier to build fences or add animal spawn points, which is pretty useful. However, I don't know why the area feature isn't working right now. Walking area, hang around area, park area, gym park area, these all look super delicious, but for some reason, this feature isn't functional at the moment. I can only hope the creator could fix the problem in a future update. I believe most city builders can never get enough of building different roads, interchanges, railways. You know what I mean? That's where these mods come in handy. Especially Road Builder, it's a true game changer. Their usage is pretty straightforward. I won't go into too much detail. I'll just mention one thing. Let's say you want to turn this elevated walkway into key mode. Under Road Surfaces, we select key here, then click on one side. It's done, but from a different angle, it'll look empty. You need to click on the other side as well. Don't forget that. It's a double side job. Although Road Builder now makes it really easy to create parking lots, I still think Parking Lots by Dome is a must-have mod. It's super useful when building custom parking lots. And here's a little trick I use when making parking lots. Select this yellow-black concrete barrier, then set it a few meters underground. place them over the parking spots. Maybe for those fancy hotel parking lots, not bad, right? These 4 mods could make your detailing work a lot easier and more enjoyable. Let's start with my favorite one, AreaBucket. If there's any new feature in Skylines 2 that really caught my eye, it's definitely the way of surface painting. And if there's any mod that makes this feature stand out even more, it's gotta be AreaBucket. Not only does it let you quickly fill surfaces, but check out this setting. Preview surface. You definitely don't want to skip this. Even if you're not filling anything, just seeing how those textures actually look on the ground is already mind-blowing, right? Honestly, what it can do right now is pretty sweet, but I keep wondering why doesn't it have a copy-paste function? Missing this crucial feature is really a pain in the ass. Literally. Then I found this mod. For those who might not know the shortcut, ctrl+C is the hotkey for copying. Anyway, I tried it out and it is somewhat useful, but this one also misses a key aspect. It cannot correctly copy the trees you selected. The thing we'd use copy-paste for the most is to quickly place trees, since this mod still cannot do it. So yeah, it's still a pain in the ass. Line Tool is definitely a time-saving mod. I've covered it in my previous video tree tricks. I won't go into detail here, but if you want to learn some tricks, go ahead and check it out. In this section, we mainly talk about the surfaces and decals. Let's start with the texture packs made by Sully. Most of Sully's textures are outstanding, especially these two. Golden Sand Beaches and White Sand Beaches pack. These are the textures I use the most in the game. You don't have to subscribe both of them though. They serve the exact same purpose. Golden Sand is slightly darker and White Sand is a bit whiter, so choosing one is more than enough. The Riverbeds texture pack is also done by Sully. They're super useful when creating farm fields or abandoned lands, and of course, they're also great for riverbanks. I like this Rocky Surfaces pack a lot. The stone textures are quite useful. They work super well when combined with these stone props, especially when designing coastlines. This pack may seem to have a lot of textures, but I think most aren't very practical. I'll just highlight the ones I use the most. Sometimes I use this for parking lots. The mulch surface is perfect for gardening work. I also use these paving stones to create small pathways. These 3 texture packs are decorative and fundamentally different from the others we mentioned earlier. They're designed to be layered on top of other textures, making your original surfaces look dirtier and more natural. However, use them cautiously. Don't go too crazy. Detailing is all about balance. If you throw a bunch of dirty decals on one road, you'll need to spread that level of detail around the surrounding areas as well. I mean, you can keep adding details forever, but that makes no sense. In my opinion, don't use too many dirty decals unless there's a logical reason for them. I would say this water surface is super easy to use for making small ponds or park pools. The creator even made other colors, like green, though I have no clue how to use that. Either way, the basic one is more than enough for me. Finally, let's talk about these optional mods. They're suited for different types of players. Like I said earlier, I personally don't need the traffic mod, but don't get me wrong, traffic is a great mod. It's just not my thing. But I absolutely need this LegacyFlavour because it lets me adjust the transparency of those zoning blocks, which helps me see what I'm actually doing. And it also has many other good options, like this one, time changing, or weather control. All super speed powers. Toggle overlays is another must for me for the same reason. For example, when I try to place a fire station in the vanilla game, the whole screen goes white. It's blinding. But with this simple mod on, yeah, much better. This is a very simple mod, but it will leave you wondering how on earth you've been playing the game without it. I highly recommend that all YouTubers use these two mods. So many times when I'm watching your videos, the white screens and zoning grids are just blinding. You gotta understand, on a small cell phone screen, when I watch you building roads and the screen's covered with those annoying little white squares, I can't see shit. Anyway, thanks for watching until the end. I hope this video has been helpful. If it has, hit that like button and consider subscribing. That keeps the channel growing. Go ahead and detail your city. Have fun. It's so worth it. And as always, if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I love hearing from you guys, and it helps me make even better content. Until next time, keep creating and peace out.